everyone! Welcome to lesson 3 of your online virtual classroom. Today we're going to be focusing on posture and technique. Let's go ahead and take our bows. Please help me teach you, and you say, please help me learn. To start this lesson, I'm going to show you guys a few exercises that I want you to be practicing at home to help make sure that we're holding the violin and the bow as relaxed and as balanced as possible. These exercises are extra fun because they require the help of your parents. So let's get started with our first exercise. So this first exercise that we're going to do is for our left hand, most particularly our thumb, making sure that our thumb is not tight while we're putting our fingers down on the neck of the violin. So before we put our violin on our shoulder, I want everyone to stand here and feel how loose and relaxed our shoulders, arms, wrists, and fingers are while we're just standing here. And if you don't feel loose, you can shake it out a little bit. Make sure you feel relaxed and soft. And we're going to maintain this feeling when we pick up the instrument. So let's go ahead and get our violins. We're going to place our violins on our shoulder in the spot where we can hold it with just our chin. So I know I don't have a sponge on, but make sure that your sponge is at the bottom of the violin so that it protects your collarbone when you're putting your violin on your shoulder, and you'll be able to place the violin right in under your chin where it fits snugly and is able to be held just by your chin. I want everyone to hold out your hand and feel how soft and squishy this muscle is right here by your thumb. It should be relaxed and therefore very squishy. We want our thumbs to stay soft and squishy while we're playing the violin. So when we're playing our violin, there are 3 points of contact with our left hand. And points of contact means places where our hand is touching the instrument. The first point of contact is the inside of our thumb, which we place on the side of the neck. The second point of contact is the inside part, this part right here, of our first finger. So here we have our first 2 points of contact, the inside of our thumb and the inside of the first finger. So these 2. So when I talk about squeezing the neck of the violin, what I'm talking about is the thumb and the inside of the first finger squeezing together and holding the violin. But we don't hold our violin with our hand. The only place where we hold the violin is with our chin. With our thumb being the first point of contact, the inside of our first finger being the second point of contact, can you guess what the third point of contact is? That's right! It's the tip of whatever finger we're putting onto the fingerboard. And what's very important is that all 3 points of contact are relaxed and loose as possible while we're playing the instrument. In our first exercise, we're going to practice keeping our thumbs squishy and soft while we're placing our fingers on the violin. So to do that, we're just going to have our violins up in the statue, only holding the violin with our chins. We're going to put our left hand up in our spot in first position. So if you guys can see, my thumb is here on the side of the neck, and my thumb muscle is still very squishy and soft. In this exercise, we're going to be tapping our fingers one at a time, 10 times on the fingerboard. We need to maintain the squishiness of our thumb to make sure that our thumb and the inside of our first finger are not squeezing the neck of the violin. So this is the part where your parents come in. So while you're doing your finger taps, every time you put your finger down on the fingerboard, there's one. I want your parents to check the squishiness of your thumb muscle and making sure that it's not squeezing and tightening up. You see how tight it is right now? It does not want to squish at all. But when I loosen it, squishy. Once more. So as you're tapping, every time you tap down, when your finger is placed down on the fingerboard, I want your parents to squish your thumb and make sure you aren't squeezing the neck. So we're going to just have our thumb and inside first finger, our first 2 points of contact, and we're going to tap our first finger 10 times. Here we go. Everyone ready? I'm going to do 1. Make sure that thumb is still squishy. Lift, down, 2. Squishy thumb. Lift, down, 3. Lift, down, 4. Squishy, loose thumb. Lift, down, 5. Lift, down, 6. Lift, down, 7. Lift, down, 8. Lift, down, 9. And lift, down, 10. And squishy thumb. Now we're going to do our second finger. So keep the first finger down. Now we're going to tap with our second finger. And still keeping the thumb squishy. So here we go. Second finger up, down, 1. Loose thumb. Lift, down, 2. Loose thumb. Lift, down, 3. Lift, down, 4. Loose thumb. Lift, down, 5. Lift, down, 6. Loose, squishy thumb. Lift, down, 7. Lift, down, 8. Lift, down, 9. Make sure that thumb is loose. And our last one, lift, down, 10. Very good. How does everyone's thumbs feel? Now we're going to go on to our third finger. Let's do another violin statue and make sure that we're just holding our violins up with our chins. So now our hand's going to go back to our first position with the thumb not gripping the neck. It's nice and loose. Place first and second finger down on the A string. And we're going to do our lips with the third finger. Everyone's thumbs nice and loose? Okay, third finger, here we go. Lift, down, 1, loose, lift, down, 2, lift, down, 3, nice and loose, lift, down, 4, lift, down, 5, check that thumb, make sure it's squishy, lift, down, 6, lift, down, 7, lift, down, 8, and lift, down, 9, make sure it's squishy, and lift, down, 10. Very nice. I would like everyone to be practicing these finger lifts as a warm-up for your daily practice. It'll be extra helpful if your parents are able to do this exercise with you as well. Our second exercise is also targeted towards our thumb not gripping the neck of the violin. This was going to be a little bit of a challenge. For this exercise, we're going to be playing through Twinkle theme, but when we play an open string, we are going to drop our hand and just have, while we continue to play the open string. So this is what it's going to look like. So since Twinkle theme starts on open A, we are going to begin with our violin statue. So this is how it's going to go. Now we play with first finger, so we bring our hand up, then open, drop again, and then we play D on the A string with the third finger, so we have to bring our hand back up. Open A, drop. Bring your hand up for the D on the A string. Drop for E. Bring your hand back up. Drop for open A. Bring it back up. Drop. Up. Now let's try it all together. I'll be going slower this time. So let's start with our violin statues. Very good. We're going to start with our open A. 1, 2, ready, play. First finger. Open, drop. Third finger. A drop. E drop. Up. Drop. Up. Drop. And drop. Very good. So that is the second exercise that I would also like you to practice this week. The third exercise that I'm going to be showing you is for our bow hand. So just like our thumb on the left hand, the thumb on our right hand also needs to be squishy and soft while we are using the bow. So for this to happen, we can't be squeezing the bow as we move it across the string. It has to be soft and relaxed as possible, and we're only using this bottom half of the arm when we're bowing. If we squeeze really tightly with our thumbs, some of you bowing with your whole arm, and we don't want that. That's too much movement. We just want to keep it to this part of the arm, moving back and forth from the elbow. To practice keeping our hand relaxed while we're doing our bowing, this is how we're going to do it. So I want everyone to have a really nice bow hold, the best that you can do, with your thumb on the outside, half of it on the metal, the other half on the hair, with thumb squishy and soft. These 3 fingers over the stick, and pinky curly on top. This exercise will work extra great if your parents are able to help you as well. So what we're going to do is your parent is going to hold their finger underneath the tip of your violin right here. So not on the hair, but right here. So there. their finger will be underneath there and having the bow parallel to the ground right here with your nice bow hold. And then they're going to take their finger away. And if you aren't gripping the bow, then this is what should happen. The bow should go down like that. If you're gripping the bow, then it will stay. So if we're holding our bow in the most relaxed way possible without dropping it, then when they take their finger away, it should drop like this. So let's just do this a few times and make sure when they take their fingers away, our bow isn't staying in the air like that. So let's do 3 more times. Everyone ready? Everyone's bow holds relaxed with curly pinkies, soft thumbs, and our fingers over the stick. Very good. Okay, our bows are parallel to the ground. Our fingers are under the tip. Okay, everyone ready? 1, 2, 3, take it away. Very good. Second time. 1, 2, 3. Good. And our last time. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. So when we're playing our violin, we should have the same sensation, not gripping our bows so that our whole arm moves and the sound is stiff, but it should be relaxed so that we are able to only move the bottom part of our arm when we're bowing. So this is the third exercise that I would like you to practice this week. To demonstrate how much of a difference it makes when we hold our bow loosely, when we hold it tightly, I'm going to play Lightly Row for you once with a very tight, tense bow, and another with a relaxed, loose bow with a loose, soft thumb. So this is our first time. This is the second time with a soft and relaxed bow hold. I hope you're able to hear through the speaker on my phone how much of a difference there was in the tone quality for those 2 different versions. The first version where the arm was tight and fingers and wrists were all tight around my bow, the tone sounded very forced and kind of stuck in the string. And the second time when I played it with the loose bow hold, the tone of the violin was much louder and ringing and full. And having a ringing tone is one of the many reasons why it's not only so important to have our fingers in the right place when we're doing our bow holds, but also to be relaxed and as loose as possible while we're playing. The only way that we can create beautiful music is if we ourselves are calm and relaxed while we are playing. So for this week's practice, I would like everyone to continue practicing the twinkle warm-ups, all the review pieces, and whatever current piece that you're on right now, whether that's May song, Long, Long Ago, or starting Perpetual Motion. But the main thing that I want you all to be focusing on is what we were going over today with the positions of both of our hands. What we did today is probably the most important thing that I've taught you so far this year. So to end our lesson, I would like all of us to play an A major scale without any rhythms, just a normal scale, with keeping in mind both of our thumbs being relaxed, the rest of our fingers being relaxed as well, and our arms and shoulders soft. So let's place our violins in playing position. Violin statue. Make sure that you're stable. Bring up your hand to play. Loose thumb here, loose thumb here. We're gonna go ahead and play. So quarter notes. 1, 2, ready, play. For homework this week, please post short clips of you practicing each of these exercises that we went over today. Let's go ahead and take our vows. Thank you for helping me teach you, and you say, thank you for helping me learn. Great job, everyone. I'm looking forward to hearing your videos for this week.